Hello all, welcome to part 6 of Practice Selenium Java Automation here training series. In this session, I'm going to practically show you how to automate all these buttons that are there in this button page by following the instructions that are provided on the top of these buttons one by one. So let's get started. So fine. So first button, the instruction, let's see. So what is the instruction here? Go to home and come back here using driver commands. Okay. If I click on this button, it will take you to the home page. Again, I have to navigate back. I have to click on this browser back button so that I'll come back here. Okay. I have to use the navigate commands to come back to this page. That's the first activity. And the second button, we have to get the X and Y coordinates of this button. And here we need to get the background color of this button. And here we need to get the height and width of this button. And here we need to confirm whether this particular button is in enabled state or disabled state. We have to confirm it is in disabled state. As you can clearly see, it is in disabled state. Now the last one is we have to click and hold this button. Okay, and confirm that we just have to perform that action, guys. Okay, so we have to simply click and hold on this button, and visually we have to confirm that this button text has been changed, like button has been long pressed and all. Okay, so how to do all this stuff one by one, I'm going to practically demonstrate in this session. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. Here under this package, I'll create a new class known as it's known as buttons class. 1 minute. Okay, I'll just create a new class. Right click new class buttons demo. Okay, I'll just give this public static void main. After going there, I'll just clear this particular text and save this. And now I'll write the code. Web driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Hold the mouse on this web driver. Hold the mouse on this web driver and select fix project setup. Select this OK and select this and say OK. Sometimes you're not getting the import statement. This is the way. And sometimes if you're unable to fix the project using the option that just now I have shown, manually write this. Okay, Google search for this import statement, find the import statement for WebDriver and copy paste here. It will be resolved. Okay, pour the mouse on this Chrome driver, import. Then driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Then driver dot get. Have to give the application URL. This application URL, guys, letcode letcode.in/buttons. Okay, so fine, paste it. So fine, once you do that, the next activity here is once you go to this page, the next activity here is that you need to click on this button, right click on this button, select inspect option. When you click on this button, it will take you to the home page of this website. And again, from that place, we have to come back using the navigate commands. Okay, come back here to the same page using the navigate commands. I'll tell you how to do that. Inspect this button. You right click inspect this button. It will highlight the HTML code of the button. And as you can see, there is an ID for this button. Copy that. Driver dot find element by dot. Give the ID of the button. So this is the go home button, right? So I'll just give the name like go home button. Okay, like this is equal to. Now let's create a web element out of it. Pour the mouse on this and say create local variable. Web element will automatically come. The return type of the find element will be declared for this go home button. Okay, now I need to click on this go home button. For that, I'll just copy this go home and simply say dot click. That's it. So it will click on this, guys. Okay, then when I do that, it will click on this go home and you'll be taken to the home page like this. Now I have to come back to the previous page. Okay, that is where the buttons are there, right? For that, I have to click on this browser. Okay, browser back. This is go back. Browser back button I have to click. For that to happen, I have to simply write down driver dot navigate dot back. That's it. Simple. This command you have to write, guys. Using this back command, you click on the browser back option and you'll be coming to the same page. Okay, once you navigate away, you just come back using the. Okay, just for demonstration purpose, what I will do is I'll just add thread dot sleep. Okay, during them I'll remove it again. These things I'll remove, guys. Okay, so just for a while I'll keep this and hold the mouse and ignore the exception by adding this source declaration. Now after this, also after navigating back again, I'll just add the thread demonstration, thread sleep for waiting the script for some time, for 2 seconds. The script will be halted so that we can see what's happening on the screen. The next task I am going to do is get the X and Y coordinates of this particular button. Okay. I need to find the location of this button, guys. Okay. So I'll right click inspect this button. First, let me create the web element for this particular button. So it has an ID. Copy this ID of the button, copy this, and simply come back here and see driver dot find element by dot ID by dot ID. Provide the double quotes and provide the value of that button, ID attribute value of the button, and find location button. Right, this is find location button. Find location button is equal to, and create a web element here. Okay. Now simply say find location. There is a command in Selenium WebDriver known as get location. Okay, simply write get location, guys. Okay, find location button dot get location. It will return you the point class. Okay, simply write down point. Okay, is equal to, like this you write down. Now simply hover the mouse on this point and import it from Selenium library. Import point from Selenium library and copy this and simply say system.out.println point dot get X coordinate. Either you can say X or get X. Anything is fine, guys. Okay. Y or get Y. I'll simply say get X. It will give you the X coordinate position of the button. Similarly, I'll say point dot get Y. It will get you the Y coordinate position of the button. Okay. X coordinate means from the left side of the page till this button, what is the X coordinate position? Okay. From the top of this page till here, that is a Y coordinate. Okay. Done. X and Y coordinate positions of the button. Okay. X and Y coordinates of this button. And after that, so there is one way, guys. Okay, there is one way to find the X and Y coordinates of the button. I'll tell you another way later. So for now, this is the way. We can also get the X and Y coordinates of the button in a different way. Let me write down that find location dot get rect command I have to use. There's another command apart from get location. We can also use get rect. I'm giving you the multiple solutions for getting the X and Y coordinates of the button. Get rect, I will say, and here it will return you rectangle class object. I'll simply say rectangle rect is equal to, for the mouse, import it from, okay, so import rectangle from Selenium library. Okay, that's what you have to see. Now simply say system.out.println, system.out.println, rect dot. Here also you have the getX command and getY command. Same thing, right? Whatever you got with point class also, whatever the get location you can use or get rect command you can use. Anything you can use, guys. Okay, both will give you the X and Y coordinates. Okay, so get rect is the latest command where get location was the older command, guys. Okay, so still you can use both of these commands. Okay, for getting the getting the X coordinate and Y coordinates of the buttons. So that is the code. Once you get the X and Y coordinates of the button, once you get the location of this button, you either using the get location command or get rect command. Let's move on to the next activity, that is find the color of this button. I have to find the color of this particular button. The color is like something like purple color, right? I want to get that color of the button. For that, I have to inspect this button. This is HTML code of this particular button, and it has color as ID attribute value. With the help of this ID locator, I'll create a web element for the button. By dot ID, provide the ID locator for the button, put a semicolon, and here, what is the name of the color button? Let's say color button. I'll say find color button or whatever it is. Over the mouse and say create local variable. Now, how to get the color of this particular button? There is an attribute, guys. There's an attribute. There is a command known as get CSS. Get CSS value. Okay. Get CSS value I have to use. Okay. Color button dot get CSS. Dot get CSS. Yeah, this is a command, guys. Get CSS value, and here in double quotes, give the CSS value for which some attribute name we have to give CSS attribute name from which we can get the value. So for that, when you inspect this button, this HTML code under the element tag for this particular button is getting highlighted. So you have to see the sub tab that is under elements. Sub tabs are styles, computed layout, etc. In that, go to the styles, and when this HTML code is highlighted, just see here. You see this particular background color which is in purple is highlighted here. You see this is the color. Okay, I have to take this name of this background color like this. Copy this. Okay, copy this, and paste it here. Background color. It will get you the color string. String button color is equal to, I have to print it out. Okay, system.out.println, system.out.println, this particular button color I have to print it out. Okay, done. After that is done, find the height and width of the button. I need to find the height and width of this button. Okay, so I'll right click on this and select inspect option. So this is HTML code of this particular button. I have to find the height and width of this button. It has an ID. First, I'll create a web element for this particular button. So I'll just come back here and simply say driver dot find element by dot ID of the button. Put a semicolon here. I need to find the height and width of the button. So hold the mouse on this, and web element we have to create find height width button. Okay, is equal to, I'll say I have to create the web element. So hover the mouse and say create local variable. So simply write down system.out.println find dot dot I have to find the height, right? I have to find the height and so there is a command, guys. Okay, we have to use we should not be writing print statement straight away. I have to write something like this. Okay, get size. Okay, get size command we have to use. Okay, here for getting the x and y coordinates we have used get location. Similarly, for getting the height and width of the button we have to use get size. Till return you dimension. Okay, dimension, or simply write d is equal to. Now hover the mouse on this and say create local variable. Automatically the return type of this get size command will come here, dimension. Okay. Now system.out.println d dot height of the button. You have to use height property. Okay. System.out.println d dot width I have to use. Done. Okay. I've got the height and width of this button. There's another way to get the height and width of the button, that is using this get rect command. Similarly, in place of get location, we can use get rect to get the x and y coordinates of the button, right? Similarly, the same get rect we can use in place of this get size to get the height and width of the button also. Okay. How to do that? Simply find height width button element dot get rect, you have to say. Okay, there are multiple ways, guys, to get the height and width of the button. Similarly, there are multiple ways to get the x and y coordinates of the button. Okay, so it will return you rectangle R, I will say, is equal to. Now simply say system.out.println r dot height. System.out.println. This is another way to get the height and width of the button. Width done. This will get you the height and width of the button. Now I need to confirm whether this particular button is in disabled state. Okay, this particular button I cannot click because it is in disabled state. I have to confirm that. Inspect this button, which is currently in disabled state. So it has an ID. Copy this. Here I'll write down. I'll create a web element for the button which is in disabled state. Driver.find element by.id. I'll provide the ID locator for this button, which is a disabled button. I'll simply say disabled button is equal to. I'll create a web element for this. For the mouse, create local variable. You see web element came here. Now I'll use this button web element dot is enabled. This will return false, right? So boolean status I will say. So here I'll write down. So confirm button is in disabled state. Okay. So how to confirm whether the button is in disabled state? If I say system.out.println, if I print the status, it will return false. If it returns false means the button is in disabled state. Okay. So if the status returns false means this particular button is in disabled state, guys. Okay. Okay. Then click and hold button. So this particular statement will return false in the output. That proves that the button is in disabled state simply. And the next thing is click and hold the button. So I have to click and hold the button. In order to click and hold this button, I have to use actions class. Actions is equal to new actions. Simulate the mouse actions. Pour the mouse on actions class and import it from Selenium library. Here I have to pass the driver. Okay, this particular driver, whatever I created, I have to pass it here in the constructor of actions class. Then I have to simply say actions dot click and hold. This is a direct command known as click and hold. I have to pass the web element on which I have to click and hold. Okay, so here what is the element that I have to create on which this particular button I have to click and hold like this. Okay, so for that what I'll do is just let me refresh so that it will go back. So right click on this button and select inspect option. Okay, so okay, let's see inspect how to do this. Under this div tag, we have this h2 and all. This is a different way of locating this particular button, guys. Okay, so let me inspect this button instead. Okay. Button ID is disabled is this one, right? Inspect this. Same thing is getting okay. Is disabled is ID. What about this button? Inspect this. Okay, both have the same, ID actually. Is disabled is there is a mistake here. That's okay. But is there any way I can, overcome this problem? Somehow the developer of this application has provided the same ID for this both buttons, so I cannot, do much here. So I'll do one thing, Control F, double slash button, @ID. I'll inspect this. Sorry, I selected wrong option. So ID is disabled, right? I'll see ID is equal to is disabled. It is locating two elements. You see, this is the first one, and if I click on this, it's locating second one. So I'll do one thing. This I'll just provide circular brackets here, surrounding this. And if I give number one here, it will locate this first disabled button. You see, and if I give number two here, it will locate this button. You see, the button which we need. Copy this. This is how I can overcome this problem. Copy this and come back here and simply write down driver dot create a web element for the button. Find element by dot ID. I'll provide the locator. Sorry, this is XPath, right? This is XPath. Sorry, XPath. Put a semicolon here. This is the button. Hold button. Okay. Hold button. I'll simply say simply randomly. I'm giving some name here. Hold the mouse on this and say create local variable. Web element will be created. Now this hold button, I'll just pass it here. So using the actions class click and hold method, I'm going to click and hold mouse click and hold on this button and say dot perform. It will click and hold for a while. So what I'll do is I'll just add this thread dot sleep. Okay, intentionally I'll add this thread dot sleep so that till the next instruction, right? It will keep clicking only. Okay, 5 seconds I'll keep it. Otherwise, I'm going to click and hold this button for 5 seconds. After that, I'm going to release the key. Okay, there is a command known as release dot perform. This will release the mouse click. Okay, it will click and hold the mouse button on this is line like left click on this left click left mouse click on the button till 5 seconds, because next instruction when it gets release command, then only the mouse click will be released. Okay, so for 5 seconds it will be holded, and we should be able to see a different text. How to confirm that this button has been clicked and holded? When I click for a long period, button has been long pressed, kind of text will come. Okay, that proves that visually we can see that. And here 2 seconds, and then finally I'll quit the browser. Okay, finally I'll quit the browser. Let's see what will happen. So I was able to automate this entire page. Okay, I was able to, you see some instructions are also there here. Okay, so follow these instructions to automate this application page. Okay, so a lot of commands that we have to use to achieve all these instructions on these buttons, right, are provided here. So anyhow, I also demonstrated the same. So just go here and run the script and see whether that is happening or not. One by one, everything should happen. I've run the script. Let's wait for the script to run. In a while, the script execution will start. The browser has opened. It will get maximized now. It's taking you to the buttons page. First, it will click on the go to home. We went to the home page. It will browser back, navigate back again. You came back to the same buttons page. It's working fine. Second, it will get the X and Y coordinates of the button. It will get the color of the button. It will get the height and width of the button. It will confirm whether the button is in. Okay, so a lot of things happen. You see, I don't know what happened in the last moment. Click and hold, I didn't see much, but let's see. So far, whatever we got, let's see. First thing is, we have clearly seen that the button has been clicked and we were navigated to the home page. After 2 seconds, we navigated back to the same page that we have seen practically. After 2 seconds, it has found the location. Get location, you see, this is a x coordinate position, y coordinate position we got. Using the get location command, we got a get x, get y. And similarly, using get rect command also, we got the x and y coordinates. There are multiple ways of doing so. We got that, okay? X coordinate, y coordinate, we got. After that, we want to get the color of the button. So as you can see here, we got the color of the button, RGBA 13877. If you copy paste this in the Google, you can find out what's happening. Just Google search for that RGBA and go to this and see the particular color. You see, this is the color, right? That's the same color, okay, that we have seen. The color of the button is this one. We got it perfectly, okay? That's the output we got. Then what else we got? Then we need to get the height and width of the button. Okay, here, you see, height width. Using get size command, we got the height and width of the button. 40 is the height, 176 is the width. Okay, similarly, there is another command, get rect command, using which also we can get the height and width of the button. Same output we got. And finally, we want to know whether this particular button is in disabled state. If it returns true, okay, if E is enabled will return true, that means the button is in enabled state. But if E is enabled returns false, okay, if the false is printed in the output, that confirms that the button is in disabled state. Here false came, that means the button is confirmed as in disabled state. And finally, this is the thing that I want to do, guys. Actions, new actions. And I need to click and hold on the button and hold it. Hold it for click and hold on the button. I don't know whether this is happening or not. It was very fast, so I'll just add some here. After doing this, I'll just add some 2 seconds. Let's see what's happening on. So let me run it again. Right click, say right click, run as. Let's see properly whether the last activity is happening or not. I didn't see it properly when I have run it last time. If that is done, we are done for this session, guys. Okay, the last activity is there. We are using the actions class. And by simulating the mouse left click, hold, click and hold, we are taking this thing. Let's see. Yeah, navigate it back. Again, it will navigate back. Just observe this last button, guys, whatever it may be. If the text on this particular button changes, button hold changes, then we are good. Okay, okay, nothing is happening, guys. Nothing is happening. So I don't know whether that part is happening or not. I'll do one thing. I'll just comment out all these things to see, just to focus on the last part, basically. I'll just comment out this. Only let's work on this last part, action, using actions and all. So this X path is correct only, and actions dot click and hold button. Maybe I have to say any other command, basically. Why it's not working? Just close this. Inspect this again. Inspect this. Or else I can create a different XPath expression button, double slash button. The red class is equal to, give that multiple classes we have. It's locating, yes, but multiple again. What is my color also has the same thing, okay? And yeah, at the rate ID is equal to is disabled. Let's see. Now only one element, that is nothing but This one only. This XPath expression also we can use, guys. Let's try with a different XPath expression here. I don't think XPath expression is a problem, but still I'll give a different XPath expression. Actions dot move to element. I'll use move to element and same H hold button I'll give. And then I'll finally say click and hold and then say dot build dot perform. Okay. So I'll just remove all this stuff. Let's see what will happen. Right click, run as Java application. Let's see what will happen in this case. Whether this click and hold is happening when I add this move to element or not, we'll see. The script will run. Just see the last button. I don't think I should do. It's not working fine, maybe. Still it is running. I don't know. Stop it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, WebDriver, everything is fine. Mhm. Let me run it again. I don't do anything. I don't fiddle my mouse now this time because when you are using actions, better not to fiddle your mouse. Let's see what will happen this time. Hmm. So that part is not working still. Don't know why the script is still running. Not able to find something maybe. Okay. Let's refresh. Click on this. So the code that is written here is perfectly fine, guys, but due to some XYZ reasons, it is not working. I'm just guessing that the reason maybe I have to scroll the page, guys. Okay, whenever when you are running the script, you can just clearly observe here. Right click run as Java application. The code should work, but due to some XYZ factors, it's not working. I feel so. I have run the code. It will fail again. It will not do any long press. The click and hold will not be done. I'll tell you the reason why. You see, the button is not visible here, and some other thing is also coming in between. So how can a mouse click and hold may happen here when the button is not visible on the screen? The page should scroll like this. Okay, when this application is running in the browser, you see this button hold is kindly purely it's kind of hidden. It's not visible. So I have to scroll down and then perform the activity. It looks good, I feel. So for doing that, I'm just adding some extra code here. That is I have to run some JavaScript code. In order to run the JavaScript code in Selenium, I have to typecast the driver with JavaScript executor class. There's something known as JavaScript executor. So simply say JSE is equal to create local variable. The return type will also come as JavaScript executor here. And after that, have to import this, guys. Okay, if it's already defaultly imported, that's okay. If this is not there, okay, if this is not there, then this kind of stuff will come. Import it, okay, from Selenium, and then JSE dot execute script. JSE dot execute script you have to say, and here remove all the stuff and put double quotes inside this, and inside the double quotes write the JavaScript code using which we can scroll down the page to the bottom of the page. Okay. So how to scroll down? How to scroll down the page? Window dot scroll to. Okay. This is the JavaScript code, guys. If you are not aware of this JavaScript code, you can Google search. Okay, you'll get this code, guys. Okay, window dot scroll to. Horizontally, I don't want to scroll anything, but vertically, I want to scroll. So to what level I want to scroll? Document dot some command will be there, guys. Okay, so I'll just Google it out because I too don't remember that. I remember partially. So just close this stuff and in this browser, Java script code to scroll down the page. Okay, like this, I'll Google search. Search results will get some results. Scroll scroll automatically to the bottom of the page. This looks good. Let me click on this. Okay, there is an article here. Okay, there is solution window dot scroll to. Till here it is correct. Window dot scroll to is correct. Horizontal I don't want to scroll, so 0 will be there. But on the other side, I have to give vertically. I have to scroll till the height of the page, till the bottom of the page. So scroll height is will give you the in JavaScript. Scroll height will give you the entire height. Till the entire height reaches, we are going to scroll down till the bottom of the page. So document dot body dot I have to give scroll height. Scroll height. Okay, till the end of the page. Till the end of the page, I have to scroll. That is still the bottom of the page, so I have to give the entire scroll height. Fine. So after this, once you scroll down, okay, once you scroll down to the bottom of the page, then try to perform the same activity where click and hold and all those stuff. Let's see whether this is happening or not. Okay, right click, run as Java application. This time it should work, guys, because earlier maybe the button is not visible to perform this mouse action. So this time, since you are scrolling down to the bottom of the page, maybe this should work this time. So the browser is opening, it's maximizing, it's taking you to that particular page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Now click and hold is happening. You see, button has been long pressed is coming means it has been clicked and hold. Then only it will come. Okay. The test is passed, guys. And one more thing, I'll just give this some time, like thread dot sleep, some 3 seconds, and after that I would like to release the left click. Okay. There is a command known as release dot perform if I say. Done. After that, I'll just give some thread dot sleep again, and finally quit the browser. Okay, thread dot sleep, and finally driver dot quit. So this should work this time. Again, let me run it. This is the proper way of writing the code. After you mouse left click and hold the button right for a while, and again you release it. Okay, what's the use of keeping it holded? Okay, once the activity is done, there is a release command to release the mouse left click, which is clicked and holded earlier. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's working, right? Button has been long pressed. Has come. Now it has released, and finally it will close the browser. Okay. So the script is ready, guys. I'll just uncomment the other portion which was working earlier for other activities of the buttons. Here also I'll remove. And all the thread dot sleeps I'll remove. Wherever they have put the thread dot sleep, right? That's not required anymore. Just for demonstration purpose I've added. I'll just remove them. Yeah, this part I'll remove. This part also I'll remove. Okay. So it's better to keep thread dot sleep here because we cannot see whether okay. It's better I'll keep this okay open, but it has clicked and hold it. But for just 3 seconds, let's give some time so that we can see. Okay, fine. I think this is a code. Okay, this is a code we have to write for automating the different activities that need to be performed on the different buttons that are there in this application. And on the right side, you can see all the commands that you can use for performing these operations. Anyhow, I have also demonstrated this as part of this session. Okay, so hope guys you like this session. And I'll be uploading the URL and the code that I have written for automating the different activities on this on the buttons on different buttons on the web page. Okay, in the description of the video you'll find the URL of this application and at the same time the code that I have written for automating these activities. Okay, so that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.